Okay, so today is lesson 1.9, using a calculator. You get to use your calculator for this one, which I know you guys have been looking forward to. A lot of fun for you guys. So the first question says, Sharon read the first 115 pages of her book last week. She read the rest of the book this week. If she reads 86 pages this week, how many pages long is her book? The first thing we do when we do a word problem, like a number story like this, there's a process that we have to go through. Okay? Did I just look at the numbers and try to figure out what I should do with them? No, I did not. Okay? The first thing I do when I read a story like this, when I come across a number story like this, is I read it. Okay, I've already read it once, and I read it out loud to you guys, so now you've read it once too. Okay? The next thing that I do I just grab my calculator and start pushing buttons? No, I have to think about it. Think about it. What is the problem asking me to do? Okay, what in the world is this problem asking? So I'm going to read it again. Sharon read the first 115 pages of her book last week. She read the rest of her book this week. If she read 86 pages this week, how many pages long is her book? Well, I know it must be bigger than this and bigger than this. And in fact, if she read this much the first week, and if she read this much the second week, and she finished it, I guess I have to add those two things together. Right? So I'm thinking about that. So then the next thing I have to do is I have to plan it. Plan how I'm going to do it. Well, I think I'm just going to add. I think I'm just going to add those two numbers together. I think I'm going to add 115 to 86. Okay? And then I do it. Okay? And when I do that, I'm going to take my calculator, because you get to use your calculator this time. And you do 115. Oops, I've already got something in there. Do 115, and I'm going to add plus 86. Okay, and then I would hit the equals button, and the answer will be fun for you to do on your own. Okay, so I'm going to do it. And finally, the last thing I'm going to do is check it. I'm going to ask myself, does my answer make sense? Okay, is the number I got bigger than these two numbers? Okay, could those two numbers added together make the number I got? I could even take the number that I got and subtract one of these numbers to see if I get the other one. You should. That's one way you can check a number story. Okay? You have another number story here. You have some basic adding to do, some subtraction. If you want to do 3 and 4 first, before the number story, to get your fingers warmed up to the calculator, you may. And then here you've got some calculator practice. Okay? So you start at 25 and you count up by 6s. And you're going to record your counts below. So for that one, to count up by 6s, I'm going to do 25 plus 6. I'm going to see what does it equal. Then I'd write that number, and then I'd hit equals again, and equals again. That's how I can count up by 6, and I write each number along the way. Then for number 6, you begin at 90 and count back by 9s. So count back is going to mean I'm going to subtract. I'm going to do 90 minus 9, and then it's going to go equals, 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 and each time you hit equals, you write your answer down in one of these blanks. Okay, is that making sense to you guys? Good. Now you want to solve the calculator puzzles. These are pretty fun puzzles. Remember to add or subtract to find the change to number. So this, where it says enter, you enter that right in there. You're going to enter 42, and then I have to think about it. How do I change 42 to 52? What has to happen? Am I adding, subtracting, multiplying? Well, I know I'm going to add because 52 is bigger. 42 plus what is going to give me 52? Okay, some of you might already know that right in your heads. If you don't know it in your heads, you have to play around with the calculator to figure it out. I'll give you this one, okay, so you can see the example. It's going to be 42 plus 10. That's going to equal 52. Now, if I didn't know it was 10, maybe I tried 42 plus, 42 plus 8. Okay, that would give me 50. All right, you can't really see the calculator screen, but that would give me 50. So I know it's got to be more than 8. Okay, so maybe I try 42 plus 9. That gives me 51. Okay, let's try 42 plus 10. That's, whoops, that means I didn't do it right. 42 plus 10. And that's going to give me 52. Okay, and so I know I got it right. How? This is going, I'm going to write right in here, I'm going to write plus 10. Right there. So I added 10. And that is how you do lesson 1.9 using a calculator on page 15 of the workbook in grade 3 everyday math.